Hare Krishna. As promised, a different kind of reading for a different type of chapter. And you'll see that the content is very much different. And because it is of a different theme than the rest of the Gita, therefore I'm actually going to read through all of the verses. More or less, I'm just going to be reading the translations. But bear with me, it's extremely interesting and it really casts a picture on the world that we live in today. This 16th chapter, and hopefully you've got your Bhagavad Gita with you, is called The Divine and Demoniac Natures. And I just want to introduce that by speaking a few words about Krishna's use of the word demoniac. Now, up to now, Krishna has been talking about yoga. He's talking about mostly bhakti. But in any case, he's talking about pious people, about those who have interest in searching after the Supreme. They may be approaching it from different perspectives, but ultimately they're looking for truth. And they're looking for something else other than what is to be found here in this world. But then there are some other people. There's another category of people. And these Krishna puts into the category overall of the divine. And there are others who are not divine. And the name Krishna uses is demoniac. Now, usually we have this idea of demoniac as the devil with horns and distorted features and so many other things. Krishna doesn't mention external features. In fact, external features don't play in it at all. The external features may be the same. As with everything in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about qualities. What are the qualities and characteristics that actually define a certain type of person? And according to their behavior, and very much so according to what their goals in life are, Krishna categorizes into these two departments, divine and demoniac. Now, the 16th chapter begins in this way, and Krishna starts with the words, Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir Jnana Yoga Vivastiti. And the translation is as follows. Now he talks about what is divinity. What are the qualities of the divine? He says, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharat, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. So this is how those who are divine, they possess these qualities, they possess some of these qualities, they're cultivating some or all of these qualities. And that is who they want to be. Even if they don't have them, this is who they want to be. But now, a whole different type of person is being spoken about. A type of person who has different characteristics and a different goal in life. In the verse 4, Krishna says, Dambo darpa vimanascha krodo parushameva cha agyanam cha vijatasya partha sampadam ashurim. Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. These qualities belong to those of demoniac nature. Krishna is giving a general description of what does it mean for someone really to be a demoniac person. And then, okay, what happens when these qualities are applied in life? Where do they lead? The transcendental qualities are conducive for liberation, whereas the demoniac qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, Arjuna, for you are born with divine qualities. Arjuna was already born with divine qualities. He already had these. So Krishna says, yes, the divine, this is conducive for liberation. Doesn't automatically mean that you're liberated, but it takes you towards liberation. And the demoniac qualities, it means you stay in this world, no liberation. The opposite of liberation, bondage. And now Krishna just clarifies, why are we talking about those two different types of beings? He says, in this world, there are two kinds of created beings. One is called the divine and the other demoniac. I have already explained to you at length of the divine qualities. Now hear from the other demoniac. Everything Krishna has spoken about up to now is about the divine. Now when he says that there are two created beings, it doesn't mean that they're created divine or demoniac, but rather we acquire these qualities according to what? According to the type of company that we keep, according to the type of association that we have. Birds of a feather flock together. We then develop these qualities. Okay, now here are some of the qualities of the demoniac. Pravrittimcha, nivrittimcha, janana shura ashura, nashocham napi chacharo, nasatyam teshu vidyate. Those who are demoniac do not know what's to be done and what's not to be done. Neither cleanliness, nor proper behavior, nor truth is found in them. These are really things that you can connect with and understand, immediately evaluate. Where do people stand? And it's not too difficult. Krishna talks about the good and the bad. It's very, very black and white. People may not like it, but that's the reality of the Bhagavad Gita. People who don't know what's to be done and what's not to be done. In other words, they don't really know what's right and what's wrong. That doesn't mean that people don't have some goals, some ideals, that they're not expert in many things. But what they're expert in and the things that they do are not necessarily right. So they don't know what's right and what's wrong. So they don't know what's to be done and what is not to be done. And interesting, the next topic Krishna talks about is cleanliness. They don't know proper standards of cleanliness. You bathe at least twice a day, and what actually cleanliness really means in terms of washing one's hands, how one eats, the type of etiquette in so many different aspects of yoga. And these are things that are practiced in yoga. Proper behavior. How to actually behave oneself. Yes, sir. No, sir. These things go out the window. Now, with social media, everyone says anything they want about anyone. That's not proper behavior. You just don't do that. Those who are older than you, those who are superior to you in certain way, either in terms of knowledge and learning, or in terms of achievement and so on, showing respect as one very important characteristic of behavior. And nor truth. Neither is truth found in such people. There's more. There's a lot more. But now we're going to leave this starting to verse 8 at our next session. Hare Krishna.